Hello, hello! Welcome back to part 2 for the Gingerbread dollhouse. I am so excited about this live crochet along, specifically that it's live, which means you get to be part of this big community. There are thousands of crocheters part of it. I know not everyone watches live, but I sure hope that you feel you're connected with the community, even if you're watching it just as a replay, because I understand some people are working. Totally get it. But as long as you watch all 3 parts and you do your crocheting part, you're good. Make sure you ask your questions whenever you have them. And if you're here live, I'm here to support you, right? So when you're here live, you get to ask questions live and I will answer them live. So instant support. And you see everyone in the comment section, right? We're having fun together. Maybe you can find a bestie with each other. If you chat about where everyone lives, maybe you'll find someone that's close by and you guys can crochet together. Maybe the gingerbread house together. Anyways, thank you guys all for the happy birthday wishes. I appreciate y'all. Speaking of that, I'm going to just bring it up very quickly. You have a few hours left on that. We have a really quick sale. I'm just trying to give back, okay? You guys always ask me, when is your next sale? The amount of people asking me about the next sale when they miss an ebook sale, well, here's your little chance, okay? I usually don't do a big discount like that, but I'm getting way too old. I may not look like that. I do feel like I'm still in my 20s. But anyways, if you use 37 off, then you can get 37% off for any of my ebooks, okay? So you can hop over to my website, tap on ebooks, and I'm just going to pop the link into the comments for just a second. So if you want to take advantage of the sale, go take advantage of it. The coupon code is really easy to remember. Just as long as you hit the apply button, you're good to go. 37 off, okay? It's not a 0, it's an O. 37 off is the coupon code. Take advantage if you like, okay? I have 35 different ebooks. I'm sure you'll find something for you. Okay, so now let's talk really briefly about the giveaway. This time I have a cheat sheet so that way you can follow along of what I'm talking about, okay? So we're going to have 12 winners at the end. The very first thing I want to tell you, because I know some of you guys put a lot of stress on yourself, okay? Please don't do that, okay? Yes, there is deadlines, okay? There are deadlines to be followed, but that doesn't mean you have to do it the same way as I do, okay? So the very first thing is I want you to give yourself a little grace, okay? And if you feel like you can't finish the gingerbread house the way you really want to, then go as far as you can, okay? By the deadline. Let me say it this way. Can you at least get the house done and maybe put some decorations on? As you can see, not everything has to be crochet, okay? Can you just do that? And if you feel like that is your finished gingerbread house, then that's what it is, okay? Let me say it again. This is specifically for this part right here, okay? You are the decider on what is considered finished, okay? As long as there's no yarn hanging off, I will be considering it as finished. You get to decide what is your finished point. Now, if you down the road decide to add more to it, that's fine. I'm just saying for the deadline right here, which is October 6th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Pacific time for this point right here, that is your deadline to submit a picture with that hashtag into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki as your finished product. You're the decider on the finished product, okay? So the next thing, let's go through from the top down. If you already signed up for this mystery live crochet along, then you're good to go on this part because I'm grabbing 3 winners directly from that sign up sheet. Maxine says, I would definitely been stressing out about this one. Please don't stress out about it, okay? I've seen some comments on that. I've gotten some emails about it. I'm like, I don't think I can finish it on time. Okay, you finish it however you can go. I personally think it is doable to at least do the house and decorate it, okay? Like add some stickers to it, whatever you consider finished. And if you want your gingerbread house not to have decorations on it, you know, like some people like to eat just the gingerbread part of it and they don't want the sugar on it, well then do that, okay? You are the decider on when it's finished. Now let's get to part 2. So as I said, for part 1, all you have to do is put your full name and email address in for the sign up. You're done. I'm pulling 3 winners from that. Has to be a full name though, because even though it just says name, you have to put in your full name. name. Because if you only put your first name, let's say your name is Mary, guess what? There's probably at least 20 other Marys that signed up too. I literally have to skip you in the random drawing if I pull a name that doesn't have a last name. It's just fact. I have to show off your name, and there's no other way for me to do it. I can't show off your email address. That's considered private, okay? So it has to be your full name. Anyways, the next part would be watch all 3 video tutorials till the end and answer the questions at the end, okay? It's not exactly at the end, but towards the end, I will have a question for you. You just need to answer that in a comment section. You're good to go. Just do that for all 3 videos and you're fine. Now, as I said, for this part, you finish it however you like to finish the live crochet along, okay? Whatever you consider finished for your gingerbread doll house. Just use that hashtag and post it by October 6th, October 6th, 2025, 10 a.m. Pacific time into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki. Okay, directly into the group. All right, the next part, very easy. You don't have to do anything on the gingerbread house, okay? The first part, the same true. Second part also. Technically, the only thing where you really have to crochet would be the last part of it, right? The third part of it. On the very last one, the big crochet party is when we're announcing all 12 winners. All you got to do there is show up, because during that live, we're going to ask some questions directly during the live, and I pull winners from those answers. Okay, so as long as you show up for that, you're good to go. So if you look at the entire list, for the only thing you really have to crochet would be the number 3 right here. Okay, everything else is done without crocheting. Okay, which is kind of cool. So you have a chance to win prizes regardless. Okay, as long as you put all your things in, you do all your tasks, you're good. Sounds good? All right. Tracy says, y'all doing a great job. I can hardly wait to see all the how they all turned out. I agree. I am so excited for everyone on how it's going to come together. Maxine actually had a question on an email, and I'm going to bring it up because some of you guys were asking about this just in a slightly different way. So Maxine specifically asked me how this part right here that flops down, right, that moving wall, she says, if I use wood, how do I attach it? Okay, so there's 2 choices you have. You either simply attach the crochet to the crochet, so you just sew it on the way you do the rest of the walls, just the bottom part of it. Let me remove the picture so it's a little bit more easier to see. Oh, hold on, one more picture. There we go. Okay, so right here on the bottom where my finger is sliding down, okay, if you just sew that part on, like the crochet to the crochet, because you have a bottom, right, you have a floor to your first level. So if you just sew it on to that part, you can do that. The other option would be to use hinges, okay? There are some plastic hinges that you can just glue on. There are some with tiny screws. Make sure it's tiny screws. Remember how thick your wood is, okay? You don't want giant screws, okay? You want tiny screws if you are actually going to use screws. And you can connect the wood pieces with each other. So if you have a wood piece on the bottom, which I highly recommend you do, you know, on the bottom where it's sitting on, for me that's the board right here, right? If you have a wooden piece on the bottom, and then this part right here, that moving part, has a wood piece on the inside, if you put a hinge on it somehow, and then you can cover that with crochet pieces or something if you don't want to look at it, you know, that you can do. Put a hinge on it if you like. That way you connect the wood pieces with each other instead of the crochet. As I said, 2 options: crochet with crochet or wood to wood with a hinge. Okay, many options. There's probably other options that I didn't think about. You know, if you make it, if you can even, you know what my husband even said? He said, if you make it similar to how a castle is, put like a little string on the side or something. You can even leave it like coming down, etc. I still think you need to attach it somehow on the bottom, but there's another option where instead of using it by hand, you can use a string to have it go up and down. It's just a little extra thing, but it's totally up to you. Okay, totally up to you. Let's see. Tracy says, me and hardware are not incompatible. It's totally fine. You're good. You do it however you like, whatever makes you happy. Okay, so let's talk about what we're actually doing today. Okay, so our focus today is Let's see, can you see it on here? Yeah, so the little coffee table, we're going to focus on that one first. Then we're going to talk about very briefly that cabinet right there, which is super easy, very quickly to make as well. The next thing is we're going to do the fireplace, and the very last thing is going to be the teddy bear. Now you're going to notice that some of the pieces were not listed for the live crochet along parts of it. You're still going to get access to the pattern for part 3 and a video tutorial. So for example, the gingerbread man, I have a video tutorial for that already, okay? So I'm just gonna give you access to that. The same is true for the star. And the wreath is actually related to a candy cane. I think we're still gonna cover it though, because you know, it's slightly different, but we're still gonna cover it. But there are a couple of things that already have a video tutorial for, so you're gonna get access to that in part 3, the written pattern and the video that is already available at the same time. Okay, so what I'm teaching you, oh, the other one is also the Santa sack that also has a video tutorial available already. Okay, so all of those you're going to get access to in part 3. So I'm not going to cover those again because you're just going to be like, why are you repeating yourself? Focus on the things that are important, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so today we're going to cover 4 things: the coffee table, the cabinet, the fireplace, and the teddy bear. Okay, my teddy bear is going to be pink today because brown is hard to see on camera, so you're going to get a pink teddy bear. We're going to do that, and I have a few pieces ready to go so that way we can put it all together. Okay, let's see. Grandma Karen says, I had to leave for a minute. Did you crochet around the roof pieces? No, I did not. That is a very good question, Karen. I did not write it in the pattern either. I did not crochet around the roof. I left it as is. I blocked it though. I highly recommend you block it. If you don't block it, you're going to notice that some of the scales are kind of, you know, waving a little bit. You have some gaps in between. So what I did is I kind of pushed it together as much as I could, and then I blocked it. Now keep in mind, I used cotton yarn for that because I actually wanted to touch my scale. Okay, so cotton yarn is okay to be touched with an iron, right? You know, cotton is okay with an iron. So my steamer though, so the one I always use, I didn't use an actual iron, I used a steamer, but I literally touched it, okay, and I blocked it that way because it was harder to block without burning myself if I would have used acrylic, because then you have to wait a second, then you have to push it down and adjust, right? Because you can't pin every scale. Is that making sense? So I use cotton yarn for that specific purpose. So some of you guys were probably thinking, why is Nikki using cotton yarn for that? It's for the blocking purposes. Now it is heavier, keep that in mind, which is why you want to make sure you're supporting your roof. Okay, so that is the reason I use cotton yarn for the roof. Was anyone thinking about that? I hope you were, because that way you're thinking a little ahead outside of the box. The gingerbread dollhouse box. You get what I'm saying. Okay, let me swoop around. So let's get started with the coffee table, okay? I'm just going to show you the crochet part of it, and then the other part I'm just going to show you on the ready to go one, okay? Now, the written pattern is written in a way where you start with a chain and then start from a second chain from the hook, because that one is easier and it's more understandable for a beginner. And it's very straightforward. Now, I'm going to show you a different version here. If you've been watching me for a while, you know how this works, but I'm going to show you the foundation I-cord foundation in crochet that is very thin. It's like a chain and a slip stitch at the same time, which creates a better look. It has a little less gaps. It looks prettier in my opinion, but it can be challenging for some of you guys. I don't think it's challenging, but it could be for some beginners. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to use this a couple times, 3 times today. So I use this technique literally for the coffee table, for the cabinet, and also for the fireplace. I used it for all 3. But again, you can also use just a chain and then start from a second chain from the hook. Okay, so most important part is that your foundation, regardless which technique you're using, has a certain amount of stitches. Okay, so for the coffee table, I'm just looking right now, the coffee table starts either with a chain of 10 and then start from the second chain from the hook, which means 9 stitches are being used right there, or you make the foundation with the 9 stitches. So let me show you. Okay, so what you're going to do, you have a slip knot and put it on your hook. I have a 4mm hook. All the other materials are listed in the material list, which is very long, so please don't ask me to read that out loud. I'm using gray for most of it today, even though the colors for the actual piece is different, but gray is a little easier to see than white or brown or something like that. Okay, so I'm sticking with the gray, excuse me. So now let's go and do this actually. So you're going to wrap your yarn from the front to the back. Okay, so let me say it's slightly different. Your yarn end needs to be a little bit longer than normal. Then you have here your running yarn and your yarn end, right? So after your slip knot is on your hook, wrap it around from front to end or front to back, then yarn over with your running yarn and pull it through. This is your first stitch. Okay, now let's do this again. Front to back, pull through, front to back, pull through. We need 9 stitches right here. Dawn, thank you for sharing and liking. I appreciate you. For anyone else who has done it too, thank you. For anyone else who hasn't done it yet, maybe you want to. Okay, so now let's keep going. We need 9 stitches in total. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So here's my little foundation. Now we are going to crochet around it in rounds. Okay, so this would be the same way as if you make a chain of 10, start from the second chain from the hook, and then you have your 9 stitches. Done. Either way, you can use either techniques. Okay, now we're going to go in the very first stitch and we're going to crochet 3 single crochet stitches in the first one. Now if you're a beginner and you can't see your stitches very well, I highly recommend you are putting a stitch marker right here on the first and on the third stitch that you just created. You put 3 single crochet stitches in the first stitch, add a stitch marker to the first and the third. If you're a beginner, if you can see it without it, you're good to go. Okay, now you're going to crochet 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches, and then we're going to repeat what we just did. Okay, so everything is kind of repeated twice, if that makes sense, because you're in rounds and you're kind of making an oval shape right here. So that's what's going to happen. Okay, so let me show you. So this is here my 7th stitch. And I have here 1 stitch left over right here. Now that stitch is going to be the same as the first stitch. Okay, that means we're going to add 3 single crochet stitches to that 1 stitch. Okay, 3 of them. Now again, if you're a beginner and it's written down in a pattern, you're going to put a stitch marker on the first and on the third stitch. Now I can see it myself. Okay, but if you're a beginner, add your stitch markers to the first and then the third of that 3, okay, for those 2 sets. Now, for the rest of the 7 stitches right here, you can see that I kind of naturally turned it 180 degrees. We're now going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch until the end right here. So that should be just 7 stitches right there. And then we're going into the next round, okay? So we're going to do this. So right now it looks more like an oval, but it's about to get turned into a rectangle, which is why I told you to add those stitch markers if you need them to be there. Now I'm still going to add my other stitch marker for, you know, knowing when one round starts and when one round ends. Okay, so we're now in those 3 stitches there in the beginning. So just make sure you're seeing those. So here's 1, 2, and 3. Again, if you add your stitch marker, you know which one is which. On the very first one, so let me say it's slightly different. All the marked stitches, so that would be the first and the third, the first and the third, right? Those are all going to get 3 single crochet stitches, okay? All of those. Any of the marked stitches are going to get 3 single crochet stitches. From this round on, you're going to mark the middle stitch. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, right? The second one is now going to be marked. So, okay, once you're done with this round, you should have 4 stitches that are marked, and it's going to be the second one, okay, for the second round. All other stitches that are not marked are going to be 1 single crochet, okay? That's it. All the marked stitches are going to be 3 single crochet stitches. So I'm just going to finish this round over here. So right now I'm working on those 7 stitches right here because that number does not change. And then I'm going to do my increases here in the back again, okay? So right here, you're going to see my 3 single crochet stitches all placed in the same stitch. The first and the third was supposed to be marked. Now, as I said, I can see it, but if you can't, add your stitch markers. Now I'm going to add into those marked stitches 3 single crochet stitches. All non-marked single crochet stitches are going to get 1 single crochet stitch. Now, after you're done with this, you're going to mark only the second stitch, okay, out of the 3 that you're making. You're making every time a set of 3. That second one is the one that's going to get a stitch marker, okay? Because you're going to do one more round with those stitch markers, okay? Just one more round of increases. So this is how it looks like so far. So it's starting to shape like a rectangle. Still a little rounded, but that's normal, okay? So you can block that in the end if you want it to be perfectly rectangular. You can also, in the very last round, substitute the middle stitch of the 3 into a chain. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. So right here, I'm going to continue crocheting in the next round, and here's my set of 3 right there. Do you see it? So you have your 3 single crochet stitches. So let me show you. So this will be 1, 2, and 3. Now in the second one, that's the one that was supposed to be marked. Okay, so that second one, you can do either 3 single crochet stitches like this, or you're going to do 1 single, a chain of 1, and 1 single. That may turn it a little bit more rectangular. It's kind of up to you how you're going to do it. I'm just going to show you my version. But again, you can also substitute that 1 stitch out. Are there any questions so far? I'm trying to go slow on this to make sure everyone catches up and has no problems understanding how to make a rectangle, because we're going to do the same, just slightly different, stitch count for the cabinet as well as the fireplace. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this round over here so you can see how it looks like, and then I'm going to show you what you're going to do to turn it into an actual coffee table. Okay, so right here we're back into those increases. In that center one is going to be 3 single crochet stitches, or 1 single, chain of 1, 1 single, as long as it's 3 stitches. In that case, the chain of 1 would be counted as a stitch. It's up to you, however you want to do it. I like my corners to be a little rounded, because when you have kids running around, you want them not to get hurt on the corner of a table. Even though this is a dollhouse, okay, a gingerbread man can hurt himself too. It's usually the gingerbread men that hurt themselves. You know what I mean? Just a little joke on the side. Anyways, so when you're done with this, I actually recommend, even though this is where the round ends, I recommend going still until the corner, so that way you don't have this zigzag on one side. So just go until you hit a corner, and then do your slip stitch and tie it off, so it's a little bit cleaner, if that makes sense. Okay, so this would be the little table right here. So now let me show you how that looks like in reality. Let me bring this over. So by the way, this is how I made my cute little table. Oh, there's one more round actually, but I'm gonna skip this right now. There's one more round because it's just the same thing again. Okay, so this is, by the way, something I bought from Michael's. Isn't that cute? A little baking thing, right? And then I had like a little set that came with a little book. There's nothing inside the book, but it's kind of cute. It's teeny tiny. Anyways, okay, so this is how the table looks like. You do one more round, right? So you can see that this is only 3 rounds. This would be 4 rounds. So here's what I did after. I put a little bit of plastic canvas on the bottom, so you can see that, right? You can kind of see it coming through. But once it stands up, you can't see that from far, right? So it's okay if some of the glue kind of comes through. And then also I cut some of the dowels. So when you're using, there was a question in a couple days ago, how many dowels did I actually use in the actual project right here? I used 7 dowels, but I cut them. Okay, so whenever I had leftovers, I used them for my little leggies right here, okay? So I used leftover ones from the cutting of some of the dowels and made the legs with that, okay? You can kind of see that they're cut. If they're kind of too pointy or something, you just file it down a little bit, use some sandpaper. I'm sure someone has some sandpaper at home, right? Maybe even a file, you know, a nail file might work too. But anyways, just make sure they're all the same height, and then it stands up, and then you're good to go on the little coffee table. What do you think? You guys like it? Isn't that adorable? I really like it. It turned out cute and adorable, right? And of course you have the rug done already, right? At least I showed you how to do it last time. And then you just place this on top of the rug, and it makes it look adorable and cute, right? So now let's focus on our little cabinet right here. Now, obviously this is a little bit more rounded. I could have made it a little bit more, you know, rectangular like. And all you had to do for that would be to put some plastic canvas pieces on the inside to make it a little less rounded. But I kind of like it where it's a little bit more rounded. You know, there are some cabinets that are a little bit more rounded. They kind of look cool. Not everything has to be square like. And as you can see, it does stand up, right? As long as you don't overstuff it. So now let's talk about it. So we're going to do a couple rounds here together. The rest of it is just single crochets stitches, 1 stitch per stitch, and at the end you're just going to sew it together by doing a couple of decreases. It looks like there was a couple of questions. Karen says, how long are the legs? You know what, that's a great question. They're not very long. They look like about 1 inch or so, maybe a little less. You can make them bigger, okay? But it's a great question. So let's see. I'm going to use my little handy tool right here. Wow, I made it exactly 1 inch. Oh my goodness, look at that. You see it? It's exactly 1 inch. Ta-da! I did not measure that it was 1 inch. I made sure they're all the same height. I did not realize they're all 1 inch. Well, look at me being very accurate here. Yeah, so they're all 1 inch. So there you go. That's your answer. How did you cut the dowels? Well, I actually used, let me see, what did I use? I either used the cutting wires. I really don't remember what I did. I had 2 scissors. I had 2 things next to me. I had the cutting wires, and I had very heavy duty kitchen scissors. My son gave me last Christmas kitchen scissors that are great for cutting bones. Okay. I used that one, I believe, and cut it with that. But don't quote me on it. I may have used the wire cutter too. I know I did not use my teeny tiny scissors. I know I did not. So it's either the heavy duty scissors I used, or I used the cutting wire, or you just use a little saw. If you have a little saw, that works too. But again, I think scissors will do it as long as they're heavy duty and strong. Okay. So, all right. So that's a good part on that. So now, are there any more questions about the dowels or the table? And then I'm just going to go right over to this guy right here. Are we good? Just want to make sure. I'm just checking the comments here for a second. Looks like we're good. The plastic canvas and the dowels are perfect, Tracy says. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to move this to the side, and we're now going to focus on this guy right here. Okay, so we're going to start the same way as we started the other one, just obviously less stitches. Okay, so in this case we only need 6 stitches, not 9. Okay, and it's also generally it's smaller. Okay, so you need a little less yarn, but still you need some kind of yarn end if you want to do it the same way as I did. So put your slip knot on your hook, and then start out with your foundation. By the way, you could call this a dresser too, right? I called it a cabinet. I don't know why I said it that way, but I'm just going to stick with it. Technically, it's a dresser, I think, but I personally don't put a dresser in a family room, which is probably why I went with a cabinet. That's kind of what I did. So I actually originally was thinking about calling it a drawer, because it's tiny, it's not gigantic, right? But you call it whatever you like, okay? In fact, if you don't want to add the lines like this to make it look like drawers, you can even make it like a line through where it's an actual cabinet that can be opened, right? You do it however you like. Okay, so now let's keep going on our little foundation. As I said, we need 6 stitches, okay? So this will be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so once you have your 6 foundation stitches, the same way as if you would make a chain of 7, start from the second chain from the hook, 1 single crochet per stitch. Same thing, just this is a little tighter. Okay, that's it. Maxine says, it's a little liquor cabinet. Yes, you can do that too. I mean, I'm not drinking, but you do whatever you want. Maybe it's going to be for the eggnog. You know, all the stuff for the eggnog. Maybe it's a tiny fridge. You do whatever you like, as I said. Maybe turn it into a mini fridge. Or maybe it has all your cookies in it, right? It's a gingerbread house and probably has some cookies inside or candy. Okay, so in the next round, we're going to do something similar pretty much as we just did. So we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches in the very first stitch. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet in 3 stitches or 4 stitches. What is it? 3 or 4 stitches? 4 stitches. Sorry. I had to double check here for a second. 4 stitches. So this will be 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in the very last one, did I do 4 yet? No, I made 3 so far. Here we go. This is my 4th one. In the very last one, it's going to be again 3 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. And then right here in the center, you can kind of see how I naturally turn it, right? You're going to do again 1 single crochet per stitch. All right. Karen says, make a mini treasure chest. Oh, that would be cool. I would love for someone to make that. That would be cool. I would love to see it. Karen, are you going to make a mini treasure chest? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, that would be so cool to see. I don't think I have the time to do that. I need a little extra time for that. But who knows? Maybe down the road I will add some more, furniture to my little gingerbread house. Okay. Let's see. Gigi says she agrees with Maxine. A liquor cabinet. All right. Von Ellie says, I've never been able to comprehend how to do the foundation stitches. Thank you. Actually, let me correct myself. This is the foundation. This is one of the many foundation rows. This foundation that I just made is more of a chain and a slip stitch. If you're thinking about a foundation single crochet, that's different. Okay. It will look different. So I may cover that in the next few days. I don't know if I have a pattern in here that has that in it, but it's different. I might need to review that with everyone. Maybe we can do that next week. I'm going to have some live tutorials for some tips and tricks and stuff. Do you guys want me to cover some foundation stitches? I can cover a few different versions, and we can do a comparison between regular crochet and linked crochet in terms of foundation stitches. That might be a cool idea. What do you guys think? All right, you guys let me know. So now let's go into the next round. By the way, here's the same thing as you did with the table, okay? So you're going to have marked stitches. The first and the third should be marked, okay? First and the third was marked. So now again, for me, I can see where the stitches are. So I'm just gonna go right into those 4 that I just mentioned, the first and the third on either side. If I can get in, for some reason I made my very first stitch a little bit tight. What did I do, Nikki? Why did you make it so tight? I was focused on the liquor cabinet. All right, so here we go. We're going to put 3 single crochet stitches into each of those marked stitches, which is the first and the third of that 3 set, right? Like we just talked about. All right, and then all the other stitches are going to have 1 single crochet alone. Only the marked stitches are going to have 3, okay? So let's see. Lori says that would be a great idea. Donna agrees. Barbara agrees. Didn't we do that a couple months ago in TCC? I actually don't remember. Did we? Did we do it in TCC? Did we compare the 2 with each other? I know I did the foundation stitches, but did we compare them with each other? I don't remember. So I would have to go back. If we did it, and if I did it on YouTube, so maybe we can skip that part and I can just show you guys where the video is. But I don't remember if I did. For some reason, I don't remember. I don't know why I don't remember. But anyways, so, but I will go and check, okay? And if I haven't done it publicly yet, then I will do it next week. So everyone gets a chance to see that as well, because I feel like that's a really important one. And foundation stitches are usually something where people have some trouble with, okay? So now once you have this part done, which would be either the top or the bottom, however you like. Okay, personally, I like to use it as the bottom because, as you can see right here, I went into the back loop only for the next round. So just let me show you that part real quick here. So we're moving up our stitch marker, of course. Keep your stitch markers because this is continuous rounds. So I wrote specifically down that you're going to go 1 single crochet per stitch. And this would be round 3, by the way, and we're going into the back loop only. Okay, so 1 single crochet per stitch, and you can see back loop only, so we have front loops left over. We're not going to use the front loops. They're just going to help us shape it a little bit. You can kind of start seeing that a little bit, how it's shaping it. So that is just there for the shaping part. It doesn't have any other purpose. And make sure that you're bending it in the right direction. You should always be working on the outside of your work unless it tells you otherwise. But typically you crochet on the outside of your crochet project, okay? So if you ever have it, you know, turn a little bit, I have seen some people crochet and then it slips by accident because of you holding it, kind of goes inwards, and then you looks like, oh, I'm working on the inside of your project. No, just all you have to do is flip it, okay? Just flip it around, okay? Because you want to make sure everything is in the right direction. So flip it and then you're good. So here's what I'm just doing. I'm literally just going for 1 round into the back loop only, okay? Then after that, you're going to do rounds 4 through 12. I'm going to skip that part right now. And you're just going to do 1 single crochet per stitch. I'm going to show you the next round. Okay. So my cabin is going to be teeny tiny, but it's okay. I just want to show you the most important parts of this pattern. So as I said, round 4 through 12, you should have the written pattern somewhere in front of you, maybe pulled up. Remember, you have it free to view on my website. It has ads. You can't print it, but just ignore the ads. It sometimes refreshes. It's okay. If you prefer an ad-free version, either join the Crochet Club or tap this link up here or the QR code or the one that is pinned. You know, if you're on Facebook, just type in GDH on Facebook alone, and you can also get the link sent over to you. But anyways, you can purchase the PDF there as well if you're not in a Crochet Club. The Crochet Club members have access to the entire pattern. You do not have to purchase if you're in a Crochet Club. Okay, so again, now after you did rounds 4 through 12, 1 single crochet per stitch, pretend that's what I just did. We're now going into the next round and you're going to do some decreases, okay? Now mine is, because stitches are shifting here after you do a few rounds, I'm going to do a slightly adjustment. I just want to show you the technique, okay? Yes, this could be like a floor cushion. I totally agree, Sandra. Okay, so I'm making a small adjustment on my pattern, otherwise it looks weird. So again, you're going to do all the way until round 12, so your stitch count might be slightly different because stitches are shifting, right? There is an angle to stitches. Okay, so yes, for now it looks like a little pet bed, Marcy. I totally agree. It kind of looks like a bed. That would be cool. See, if you stop right here, you have a bed. All right, so let me just show you the very last round that has some decreases, okay? So what I do is, well, you can look at yourself to make sure that everything is straight. So wherever your corners are, so it would be right here, 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 and here, you're going to do a 3 single crochet decrease. So in order for me to get to that, I'm just going to do 1 more single crochet stitch. Now I'm right in that corner, and we're going to do a 3 single crochet decrease. So you have a few different options. You can do the regular way, and that's what I'm going to do. So you're just pulling up those 3 loops from those 3 stitches. You have 4 in the end, and yarn over, pull through all. Okay, that will be your 3 single crochet decrease. Then again, you should have like 1 single crochet here in between, and then you're going to do another corner right here. Okay, so you pull up 3 stitches like so, and then make a decrease. So all corners, there's 4 corners, should have a decrease. In between, you're just going to do 1 single crochet per stitch, right? So right here, I'm going to do 1 more stitch, and then I can get to my corner right here. So pull up your 3 loops from 3 stitches. It looks like this, right? So until you're 4 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. That's your decrease. Right here, let's see, is there 1 single crochet in between? Maybe not. So I'm going to do here a decrease, and then again 1 single crochet per stitch until the end. Okay, so that is going to be a decreasing part at the very end right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fold this in after you put some stuffing inside, right? And then you're going to go in a zigzag and close it up. Don't close it up in a circle. It is oval shaped, okay, or rectangular shaped. Kind of looks like a shoe right now. Or like a, what are they called, like the baby things, you know, it just needs a little bit of something over it. Anyways, but what you're going to do once you're done with this part right here, you're just going to zigzag over and close it up in a whip stitch. That's what I usually do, whip stitch over, right? And then you're done with this. Now over here, all you're doing is little lines, right? So in, out, in, out. So you can do the reverse backs, the back stitch, or the double running stitch. Either way, it's going to look the same. And then we have some French knots. So my question to you all, yes, Gigi, it's a 3 single crochet together or decrease, however you want to call it. Yes. Let's see. Maxine says, do you have patterns for mini gifts? There is one in the ornament ebook. Okay. I did not want to make a lot of gifts, which is why I have the ready to go ones. But if you want to make gifts, you can check out the ornament ebook. Bassinet. That's what I was looking for, Stacy. Thank you. So let's see. Maxine, I believe there is a gift in the ornament ebook, if I remembered correctly. I also had one in one of my gift ebooks, potentially volume 1 or 2. And I don't remember which version it is. And there is a mini gift in there. It was actually an earring, but it's the perfect size for the gingerbread doll house. So I do have a pattern for that. Just don't remember where exactly I put it. You can always email me, Maxine. I'm happy to look for it and send you the link over, okay? Sandra says, can also be basket. I totally agree. Bassinet, basket, whichever, okay? If you make a smaller version of this. Do you guys need me to show you how to make these lines? Happy to do that. Does everyone know how to make a French knot? Do you need me to show you? I need a comment here. I'm trying to get some engagement going here. I'm going to take a little sip of water for a second. But if you guys need me to show you how to do the French knot and the running stitch, happy to do that. Just let me know. Okay. Oh, I needed some water. That was good. Okay. What do you guys think? Should I show you? I can do it in gray real quick, and then I'll pull it back out. Okay, I think Jenny wrote it in a different language. I don't know what that means. Jenny, can you write it in English? I'm so sorry. You should make a little nursery this size. Yeah, you can totally do that. Totally do that. Go for it. Cassie says the running stitch, please. Okay, so let me show you the running stitch and also the French knot. I'm going to do it on the back side, right? So I can pull it back out. I just want to show you how it looks like, okay? So we're just going to cut this here for a second. Yes, we did embroidery on Tuesday in TCC, but that was not a public video. Okay, and I might even do some more embroidery stitches in the next few days, okay? So let me show you. So there's a few different ways. As I said, you can do the double running stitch or the back stitch. I'm just going to do one of them right now, which in my opinion is the easiest one, and that's the double one, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go in and out, and you're simply making a line, okay? So kind of literally, it's like a, think of like a wave, okay? So you're going in, out, little over, about the same distance apart, in, out. Everything is the same distance from each other. So in, out, okay? And then over here, okay, when I'm at the end, you can do here one more, okay? Like so. And now you're gonna go back. Okay, so wherever you went in and out, you're going to go back around, just the opposite direction. Think of it like a wave, right? Like the math wave, right? You get what I'm saying? You're just going to go in the opposite direction. So you're just working on the other side, so you're covering the in-between. See that? So in and out, and then in and out. Right? And then over here, you're going to go back in, and then you just knot it. You see that? And then you have your line. You can also do a back stitch if you need, okay? So if there's any questions on that, let me know. I'm going to pull this back out later, of course. And let me show you really quickly how to do a French knot. Okay, my yarn is too small for this, so I'm just going to cut another piece so I can show you how to do a French knot. Okay, now you can also just use fabric paint for this. okay, if you don't want to make a French knot. But let me show you. So the French knot, so you come from some kind of direction, and then you're going to come out where your French knot needs to be, okay? So this would be hidden, of course, right? So now wherever your French knot's going to be, that's where you came out of. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your tapestry needle and also hold your yarn here at the same time, and very close to where the point is, you're going to wrap it around twice. Don't do more than 2 times, okay? 1 time is not enough. 2 times is exactly right. So, and now what you're going to do is you need to make sure you're not going in the same hole where you came out of. You're going to go just a teeny tiny bit over, okay? Just a little tiny bit over. And then you're going to move to another location. So like so. So what I like to do is kind of hold tight here on my yarn at the same time. Do you see how I'm holding tight on it while I'm pushing it through? So very gently until the end, and then you have your French knot. Ta-da! French knot done. All good. Okay, Maxine says if you're in TCC, you would know how to do the French knot. Yes! We just covered that. Let's see. Tracy says maybe glue beads for the drawer handles. Yes, you can use beads too. Fantastic idea. Use beads. You can even use fabric paint, whatever you like if you don't want to do the French knots. Okay, I just made it really quickly, but this is how it looks like. Okay, so now let's hop over to the next thing. So far we made 2 things. So now we need to make the fireplace. That's what we're focusing on next. So let me pull the fireplace, so we can do that together. So obviously this is white. White is hard to see on camera, so I'm using gray, okay? So this is how it's gonna look like in the end. So let me kind of guide you through it. So, and then we're actually gonna do it, okay? So first you're going to make 2 rectangles that are exactly the same. This is gonna be 1 for the top and 1 for the bottom. I have the bottom one done right here, okay? So I already made it, so that way you don't have to watch me do it twice, okay? So bottom one is done, so we can put that to the side. We need to do it 1 more time here for the top, and then from then on we're going to crochet down. So you're going to first crochet in rounds a little bit, then you're going to crochet one side, then you're going to crochet the other side, and then you're going to crochet the center part over, okay? So let's see. I just want to check if there was another question. Karen says split the thread you're going back into. Yes, you can totally do that. I agree. Where did you find the red candle? I think I added it into the material section. I remember adding the LED candle. I'm pretty sure it's all the way on the bottom of the material list. It's a set. There's like, I don't know, don't quote me on it, 10, 15, 20 things on it, 20 of them. I have a bunch of these, and I use them for Christmas all the time, and I thought it was the perfect one. It's like red, right, like a flame. So there's white ones out there too. There's even blue and green, right? I just thought red would be perfect. So it looks like a flame, and I didn't have to crochet the part, and it actually flickers like a flame. Okay, so I believe I added it into the material section. Tracy, will you double check for me when you have a chance? But I think it's in there with a link too, so you can just tap it and then you know where to get this from. All right, well, let's get started. We need to do the top. As I said, we're doing every rectangle twice here. 1 for the bottom, 1 from the top. Okay, bottom's done, so let's do the top. So again, we're going to start with that foundation part of it. It is more like a foundation slip stitch versus some foundation single crochet, okay? Because it's a little tighter and we don't want the gaps to come out, okay? So again, you're going to start with a slip knot. Okay, and we're going to start with the foundation. Tracy says, I got Sharpies and paint on my hand, and I have white candles. Perfect. You can even paint it red if you like. Okay, so let's start it. Okay, let me actually pull up the pattern because I don't have it memorized. So Nikki, you got to have it in front of you. Here we go. Fireplace. So we're going to start with 10 stitches, okay? So you make your slip knot, and then you have your yarn end, and you have your running yarn, okay? So wrap it around and pull through. We're going to need 10 stitches. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whoops, I just split my yarn, so I have to do this one more time. So I'm going to recount for a second to make sure I actually have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. Maxine says the link for the tea light isn't a pattern. Yay! I did remember it right. Good. Hang on. I feel like I'm so far away. I need to scroll in a little bit. Okay. So now let's go and do our rectangle. Just like we did the other ones. I told you we're going to make a few rectangles. Okay. So this should be the last time we made a rectangle. Okay. So let's see. I'm just looking at my pattern. So again, we're going to start with our 3 single crochet stitches. And if you're a beginner, mark the first and the third of those 3. Okay, add like a little stitch marker to it, yarn end, whatever, as long as you know where it is. If you can see it like me without it, then you don't have to add stitch markers. The stitch markers are there to help you. They're your friend, okay? They're not your enemy. Don't always look at the stitch markers and feel like, no, I'm not good enough. It's okay. I use stitch markers all the time, including yarn ends, okay? Please use your stitch markers. Don't be afraid. You're going to be upset later if you didn't. Trust me on that part. Anyways, and then you're going to do your 1 single crochet per stitch. There should be 8 stitches here in the center. So it's literally just 1 stitch per stitch. And then we're going to repeat what we just did, right? We're going to start with those 3 single crochet stitches all the way in the last stitch right there. And you're going to mark again the first and the third. And that's only in the second round. That's when you're going to do this, okay? So right here's our very last stitch. So in that one, you're going to crochet 3 single crochet stitches, and you're going to mark the first and the third only in round 2, okay? Let's see, pretty hook. Thank you. It's a dots hook from We Crochet. They're very affordable and they're great in my opinion. Okay, now we're naturally turned just like before, and we're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch until the end. There should be 8 stitches right there. Okay, and then again, I'm going to use my yarn end here as my stitch marker so I know which round I am in. Okay, so we're going from one round to the next. So let me guide you through that. Do-do-do, do-do-do. There's a lot of single crochet stitches in between. I can't sing. I'm making stuff up here. Okay, so now that we finished this round, we're going into the next round, okay? So as I said, you have some marked stitches over here, okay? So you should have the first and the third stitch marked on either side of them. Those marked stitches are going to get 3 single crochet stitches. So here's the first one that gets 3. So 1, 2, and 3. You have 1 single crochet in between, and then again you have 3 single crochet stitches. Now at this point you want to mark only the center one. Okay, remember you made 3 over here and 3 over here. Only mark the center one. So starting round 3, you're marking the second one. Gigi says, I feel like a fool. Someday I'll be able to actually finish one of these projects. Gigi, please don't. Okay, you're too hard on yourself. Okay, you do as far as you can, and eventually you will finish it. Nobody has a deadline on you. Okay. It's all good. You make your own deadlines. You make yourself happy, okay? If you need to switch things up all the time, then switch it up, okay? We all need a break in between. It's totally fine, okay? If you have OCD like me a little bit, you want to finish things, but it's okay. You make your own timeline, okay? So now let's keep going. So you're going to do in between any stitch that was not marked, you're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch. Okay, so these little furniture pieces go really, really quickly. Okay, I made most of these furniture pieces in just a couple hours. Okay, so it is doable. Once you have your gingerbread house done, the rest of it goes really quickly. In fact, the actual decoration part of it goes very quickly, especially if you use hot glue. Anyways, I'm back here in the corner again, or should I say rounded corner. You should have some marked stitches over here, the first and the third, and those 2 are going to get 3 single crochet stitches. Once you added your 3 single crochet stitches, you're in round 3, right? You're now going to add a stitch marker in the second stitch. So make sure you do that. If you can't see your middle stitch, then make sure that you're adding your stitch markers, okay? So here we go. So I just added my stitches right there. So if you can't see your middle stitch out of the 3, add a stitch marker to it. Okay. So now let's go into the next stitch. Tracy says obsessive crochet disorder. That's a good one. I like that. I'll take that one. Okay, so let me check really quickly. Okay, so we're now going to go into the next round. I think I set the rounds, by the way. You can count them however you like. If you go by the pattern, then actually we just made round 2 because I didn't count the foundation as a round, but you can count it as a round. I just want to clarify. I just realized that's how I wrote it. Okay, so let me finish this round here and then we go into the next one. So technically per the pattern, I call it the round that I'm just doing round 2. Even though I mentioned it earlier, round 3. It's either way. As long as you have the right stitch count and everything, and round count and total in the end, you should be good. Okay, so I finished this. So according to the pattern, this is round 2. So now we're going to do this one more time, okay? All the marked stitches are going to get 3 single crochet stitches, okay? And all the non-marked stitches are going to get 1 single crochet stitch. So I see where my middle stitch is, so I don't have to add my stitch markers, but you may have to, okay? So I'm literally going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch until I hit the middle stitch of the 3 or your marked stitch, if that's what it is. Either way, okay? And then you're going to add your 3 single crochet stitches in that. By the way, if you were here for the tissue box covers, you may remember this technique. We did that for the tissue box covers because we had to make a rectangle because we made it for rectangular tissue box covers. It's the same technique. You just had an opening in the center instead of, you know, a closed area like we do. Okay. So right here, I hit again my middle stitch. So I'm going to put 3 single crochet stitches into that. All right. Sherry says, I cannot find the link for the wood that replaces the plastic canvas. Is there a link supposed to be in the material list? I thought I added it into it. I don't know. I don't have it on this side. So when I switch back the view, Cherry, will you remind me if you see my face in a large frame, when I switch back to my other screen, then I have a link and I can show it to you. It is in part 1. I did put it into part 1, but I'm happy to show you again. No worries at all. You just have to wait until I'm done with the teddy bear, okay? Because that's how far we're going. After the fireplace, we just have to do the teddy bear. I'm not going to show you every part of the fireplace. That takes too long, but I'm going to show you the most important parts. I will not let you hanging on this one. This one sounds complicated, but it really isn't, okay? So once you're done with round 3, okay, you should now have 2 identical rectangles. One of them will be for the bottom. The other one is from the top, okay? So we're currently working on the top piece. As I said, the bottom is done. So what it says right here is for the top piece, it says continue as follows. And it says you're now going to go into round 4 and you're going to do 1 single crochet per stitch into the back loop only. Again, we want that little bit of an edging right there, okay? So for round 4, you're going into 1 single crochet per stitch. There's no increases right here, okay? You're actually done at this point with increases. No more increases, okay? You're just going to shape it a slightly different way. So you're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch all the way around in the back loop only for round 4. Then round 5 and 6 are going to be 1 single crochet per stitch. Okay, 1 single crochet per stitch into both loops for round 5 and 6. I'm going to skip that part, okay, because that's just going to be for you guys too boring. Okay. Von Ellie says, being new to TCC, I had not gotten to the section about the stitches. I went and looked, and it does have the foundation stitches. Wow, a whole lot more. My next part, next I want to do is Tunisian. You're going to find so much in the Crochet Club. The Crochet Club has, the vault is filled. Tracy likes to call it the Crochet Candy Shop. I'm going to start probably calling it that way as well, because I absolutely love it. Don't we go crazy when we find like a whole vault full of patterns and tutorials and we feel like, oh, finally, and I have it all, you know, literally, and you don't have to like anything extra. You just like go for it, you know, be like a kid in a candy shop. So I can have everything, right? That's literally how it feels like. So Von Ellie, I hope you're really enjoying it and you're browsing around. Use the search feature. A lot of people don't know that TCC, the TCC, by the way, for those who don't know, it's called the Crochet Club. That is our membership. And it is a vault full with more than 500 patterns. We meet 6 to 7 times a month. We have a huge community. We have so much fun. We are bonding all the time. It's a really, really fun community, okay? But you also have a lot of access to a lot of patterns and tutorials at all times. Really, really fun, okay? So anyway, so once you're done with this, okay, you are now going to do rounds 5 and 6, 1 single crochet per stitch. Okay, I'm going to skip that part so you don't get bored. I'm going to go to the next part of it, which is round 7. Okay, so you are now working, let's see, on the ceiling of the fireplace. I know that sounds weird to say that, but let me point to it. You're working on this guy first. This one right there. Okay, so you are actually working on these 2 pieces. Let's call them the legs, whatever. Okay, whatever you call this part of it. You're going to do that after. You're first going to do the ceiling. What is this part called? I don't know. I'm going to call it the ceiling. The ceiling of the fireplace, okay? That's what you're working on next. So what you're actually going to do, this is round 7, or row 7 actually, because we're now going back and forth. So again, you have 5 and 6 done, okay? I'm skipping 5 and 6. So round 7, it's going to be turn first, and you're going to crochet 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, I want you to make sure now when you're looking at your piece, remember, everyone has different tension. Some of you guys have stitches a little bit more angled. What I need you to do is I need you to lay it flat and make sure that this piece right here is going to be centered. So if you are splitting up your piece into like 3 parts, you have 2 half circles and you have that center piece. Is this in a center? You can kind of see it like this. Is it going to be in a center? Mine is pretty much in a center. Now remember, I skipped rounds 5 and 6. So this should have been over just a hint, but I'm just going to stick with it like this, okay? So technically, I feel like I should have done 1 extra stitch, but again, I skipped 5 and 6. So you want to make sure this is even. Is that clear by everyone? You want this to be even, okay? Because you're now working across it. And you want both of these sides to be even in the end. So you want to make sure that center piece is even, okay? So that's a very important part. So once you know that this is centered, you can always, go back, fix it to make sure everything is centered. You're now going to do your rows as it says. So this would be row 2, or what I called it, row 8. Okay, so I'm going to finish this section though, because we need that in order to show you the rest of it. So this will be 8 and you're going on to 13. Okay, so this is now 9. It is 1 single crochet per stitch when you have this all lined, and there's 6 stitches. So as I said, this is 9. Then you turn. By the way, I don't do any turning chains because it's single crochet. You don't need it. Okay, this is 10. See, it goes really quickly. I'm going to go on to 13. So this is 10. I have to say it out loud, otherwise I'll forget my numbers. I will forget them. Okay, 11. Okay, I'm counting the rows right here, or rounds, whichever one you want to call it. Okay, 11. Now 12, and then 1 more. Okay, they're all 1 single crochet per stitch. This is 12, this is 12, this is 12. I don't want to forget my number. Okay, 1 more round is 13, or row, whatever you want to call it. That's why I always just write down an R. R, whatever it is. R number. Okay, so once you have your 13, you're going to flip it over to the other side, and you're going to slip stitch. Now again, this is important. Make sure it is evenly across. So this is the same thing as I told you earlier. When you make your stitches on this side, make sure that is all centered. Mine is a hint off because I skipped rounds 5 and 6. Okay, so just bear with me on that part. Okay, so I'm just going to put this right across, and all you're going to do right there is slip stitch across. At that point, you should hopefully, okay, if you're off by 1 stitch, it's okay. You can make an adjustment. You should hopefully have the same amount of stitches on either side. Okay, that's the goal. Are there questions here, by the way? 1, 2, skip a few, 99, 100. Tracy, okay, if you're making a blanket, that one would be too small. That's a good one. The mantle is the top. This is under the mantle. Yes, Karen, thank you for clarifying. I just called it a ceiling, but you know what I mean. I think everyone knew what I was talking about. Am I right? Okay, so as I said, you put it across, and you're going to put slip stitches now across to connect them together. You could sew this part, but I didn't want to cut my yarn, and this part is going to be on the back anyway, so nobody's going to see it. So just put slip stitches across, even though it shows like a little line there, it's fine. So now what you're going to do, super duper easy, you're going to go around it, and you're going to pick up new stitches again, and you're going to pick up 1 stitch per stitch right here for that little ceiling that I called underneath the mantle, right? This is the mantle, this is underneath. Okay, so right here you're going to pick up stitches, so that way you're going around. So I'm just going to show you how to do this, okay, so that way you have no problems. Okay, so 1 stitch per stitch. So literally I went from the slip stitches right over. You're going to add your stitch marker at this point so you know where your first stitch is. I'm just going to show you the beginning of it. Oh, I just realized something. Silly me, silly me. I have to go left first, then right, because otherwise I'm working on the inside. I don't want to do that. We're working on the outside, silly me. Okay, so you're actually starting right here, okay? And you're going to start right on that ceiling part, because otherwise you're working on the inside of your project and you don't want to do that. Okay, so you're literally just picking up here 1 single crochet per row. You should be able to see your rows. You see that? You have these lines in between. There's 2 rows in between. Every time you see these lines and these lines, they separate rows from each other, okay? So you're going to pick up 1 stitch per row right here. And on the outside, of course, right here, you're just going to do 1 single crochet per stitch. That's it. Okay, right now it looks more like a shoe or some kind of sandal because I skipped a few rounds. But it's okay. If you need to have a giant slipper in your little, dollhouse, then feel free to make a slipper. Okay, so anyways, so I'm just going to go around it. That reminds me, I haven't made slippers yet. Maybe I need to do that. So you now you're just literally just going around it. You're going to do this on both sides until you have the amount of rows down that it says. Let's see, how many do you do? You're going to do 7 rounds. Okay, so here would be 7, here would be 7. So you're making little leggies, right? So they look like this. And then all you're going to do at the end, when you're done with that, very easy, you're going to stuff this in a U shape, and then you're going to put this one down and you're going to sew around it. Now there's one thing that's left over. I'm not going to cover this because it's super easy, and it's just the back right here. You're going to make a certain amount of stitches. Let me see. I called it the what did I call it? I think I just called the back part of it. So I think this is, yeah, the back part of it. So the back cover. You're going to start with a chain of 9, start from the second chain from the hook, 1 single crochet per stitch until you have 8 rows. And then all you're doing, you're sewing this on the back, so that way you have a cover on the back. That's it, okay? You could technically just, crochet directly on it and then crochet on it and without sewing, but I felt like that was a good idea. Maxine says, looks like eagle. Yes! Papa Poos? What is Papa Poos? Oh, I missed something here. I'm foreign, so I don't know what Papa Poos is. What is Papa Poos? Anyways, okay, so is this clear? You're just going to stuff it. You're going to sew this part here on the bottom, so that way it's closed. And you're going to add your cover, and we're all good. Okay? And then you have your fireplace. And all you're going to do is put your little candle inside. Ta-da! We're good, right? Are there any questions? Von Ellie says, yes, boot slippers. Tracy says, would you cut your yarn to switch to the other side? Yes, ma'am, I would. Yes. That is a great question. After you're done with this, you cut and you reattach over here and you go in rounds again over there. Yes, 100%. Put runners on the bottom of the sled. Yes, it almost could look like a sled too. Nana says, Papa Poos is an Indian basket that we put our babies in to carry. Ooh, I guess we're doing a lot of baby stuff today. Yes, we talked about that earlier too. Good idea. Anyways, are there any more questions about the fireplace? You can kind of see it's very easy, right? Once you kind of understand the basics, where everything goes, I felt like the hardest part was to go from one side to the next. As long as you have that angled, you're good. Everything else is straightforward. As I said, no more increases and decreases once you have your rectangles done. Is that all good? Because I would like to transition now to the teddy, because I don't want to miss out on the teddy bear. So let me pull my teddy here. Where's my teddy? Teddy bear, Mr. Teddy Bear. Okay, right here. Okay, so here's my little cute teddy bear. As you can see, brown is a little bit hard to see on camera, which is why I'm picking pink. Okay, so if you want your stitches a little tighter, if you have looser tension, just go down in hook size on this guy. Okay, it does have a little tail there, so it sits properly. The face is adorable and cute. I'm probably going to use white for the face right here, for the snout part of it. And the bow is very easy. Okay, I didn't grab my pair of, I usually grab a fork for this, but you can do this on your fingers too. Okay, I'm going to show you really quickly how to do the bow. You can make this as big or as little as you like. You don't even have to add a bow if you don't want to. Okay, so for the bow, as I said, you can just use your fingers on this. You can wrap it around 2 fingers, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut it, and you can use a fork for this too, okay? If you have it on your finger, you need to make sure it stays on your finger, okay, while you're adding your tapestry needle on. If you have a fork, you can put that at the side for a second, right? But if not, if you have it on your fingers, all you're going to do is you're going to wrap it through the fingers, like so, a few times, like so. You see that? Don't do it too tight. You want to be able to take it off, okay? Once you have it a few times, you can take your fingers out, like so. Okay, and then tighten it a little bit more. Now, personally, I prefer the fork because it makes it even, and you can literally tie it without taking it off, and it makes it like a perfect little bow. In my opinion, the fork is easier than your finger, right? You can kind of tell. It doesn't look as pretty as a fork. So use a fork. It makes it better. So wrap it around the fork and then push it through the center part of the fork until your bow is done. And then take it off. Here you kind of have to do it beforehand, otherwise you're going to crunch your fingers up, okay? But that's how you do the bow. Are we good on the bow part of it? Claudia says, almost forgot. Happy birthday. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the teddy bear. Here we go. Let me pull the pattern up because, again, I don't have it memorized. Doo-dee-doo. Okay, we're going to start with the, oh, we're doing pink. I just realized. Hopefully you can see pink. Yes, you can see pink. Woohoo. Okay, I have a few things ready to go, so I'm just going to show you certain parts of it. Let me push my gray to the side so it doesn't bother me. Okie dokie. So I have a few things already ready, so I can show you how they look like in a second. But I want to first get you started on it, and there are certain parts that are very similar with each other. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to get started on certain things, and then the rest of it I'll show you directly how it looks like. Okay, because I don't want you to get bored on this. There's certain things you have to do twice, you know, like the arms, the legs, those are all done twice, the ears, everything is done twice. Anyways, Maxine says we made that teddy last year and I gave it to a friend. Yes, this is actually this teddy. There's a video, I believe, already in the crochet club for this guy. But I'm just going to remake it so it's publicly available as well. Okay. So we're going to start with, which ones do we start with? I'm going to start with the ears, which are very similar to the legs. There's just a few things different, okay? They have the same stitch count in the beginning. So both the legs and the ears start the same way. So you make a magic ring. I need to slow that down for the beginners. My apologies. I made it so quickly. Let's do this again, okay? So you're going to make an X. You're going to pull it through. And you're going to make your chain of 1, okay, like so. Now you're going to add 7 single crochets to the ring. If you find that your pieces, I'm talking about the ears, arms, and legs, you feel like they're too big, I like them a little bit thicker, okay? I like them a little bit bigger. If you don't like them bigger, then instead of doing 7 single crochet stitches, do 6. That way it makes it a hint smaller, okay? If you don't like big long feeties, if you don't like the arms thicker, I like mine a little bit fatter, okay? If you don't like yours fatty, you can make it 1 single crochet less. So as I said, you start with 7 technically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the pattern calls for 7, but if you want it thinner, make 6. Got it? You just have to make an adjustment for the next rounds. That's all. So it just has a few less stitches. It's fine. So once you're done with this part, you're going into the next round. Okay, so both the ears and the legs start the same way. So we're going to finish the ear together, and for the leg it's just slightly different at the very end. So we're going to go into the next round. This is continuous round, so use a stitch marker. I'm using my yarn end right here, and we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches per stitch all the way around. Okay, so you're going from 7 to 14 stitches at this point, and if you did 6 in the beginning, you would go to 12 at that point. Okay, either way works. If you want it a little bit smaller, that's fine. Just add 1 less stitch in the very beginning. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm crocheting 2 single crochet stitches per stitch. And here I'm also making sure that I'm going to count. So since I'm talking at the same time, I need to make sure I'm counting my stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes. So if you start with 7, you should have in the next round 14 stitches. Okay, so we're now going to do the ears together, because I have the legs done already. So that way, you know, as I said, it's the exact same way in the beginning. So the difference between the ears and the legs, the ears is going to be 2 additional rounds of just single crochet stitches, and the legs, you're going to do round 3 to 6 1 single crochet stitch. So we're going to do the ear here together. So I have 2 rounds of that, and for the legs it would be 4 rounds of just single crochet stitches. Okay, just single crochet stitches. Now there's one part that is different after that. Okay, so after the single crochet rounds, for the legs, you're going to do decreases. I'm just going to show you in a second how to do the decreases, just to show you, but I'm not going to do it on the ear, of course. The ear doesn't have any decreases, but the legs do, and the arms do too. I'll talk you through the arms in a second as well. I need to check if I made my arm or whether we're crocheting it together. I need to check in a second. So once you make your 2 rounds for the ears, you would cut your yarn. Okay, but I'm just going to show you here how to do a decrease for the leg part of it, because if this would be the leg, you would do 4 rounds of just single crochet stitches, and then you do 1 round of decreases. Okay, if this would be your leg, then here's how you would do the decreases all the way around. You go through 2 front loops like so, and then you do a yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over, pull through. That's your decrease, and you would do this all the way around for the leg part of it. This is an ear, there's no decreases. Okay, so the ear is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my yarn, okay, and pull this through, and this end here you can just tuck in. We're not going to put polyfill in the ears, okay, but you're going to put polyfill in the legs as well as the arms and the body. Okay, so like this. Let's see. Oh my heck, Nana says, oh, different Nana, after so many videos I just realized you're using your tail as your stitch marker. Yes, I do, because I'm tired of looking for my stitch markers. I have so many, but they're everywhere. But the end is hanging right there. Might as well use it. Okay, so here we go. Let me check how many I have done. So I have my 2 ears done. Okay, my 2 ears are done. As I said, I'm making my teddy in pink. Okay, then I'm going to check right here. I have my 2 arms done. So I'm going to talk you through the arms. Okay, my 2 arms. Are they even? I think they're even. Okay, so the arms are done the same way in the beginning. You're going to start with 7 single crochet stitches in the magic ring, right? Then you close it. And then you're going to go into the next round. You're going to do 1 single crochet and 3 stitches. You're doing an increase, 1 single crochet and 2 stitches, increase. Then you're going to do rounds 3 through 6, 1 single crochet per stitch. And then you're going to do 2 decreases in the following round, and then you're done for the arms. So very similar to the legs, just a little less stitches. Okay, no worries. Gigi, you're going to rewatch it. You're good. Go ahead. You can always rewatch it no matter when. Okay, it's totally fine. Take care. Okay, so once you're done with your arms as well, as I just talked you through that part, you have the written pattern, right? It's very similar to the legs. Then you have the legs, right? As I just mentioned, the last round is just single crochet stitches, single crochet decreases, as I just showed you. So what you're going to do here at the very end is obviously you pull this out. You can tuck in your yarn end right here because it's going to be part of the polyfill. Okay, I have some polyfill here, so all you're going to do is you're going to stuff it a little bit. You can do this before doing the last round if you find it too hard to push in, or in the middle of the round. It's totally fine. Don't overstuff it, otherwise it's going to look like a ball, right? You do want it to be slightly, thinner, right? You want it to kind of, he's laying down, right? You don't want it to be rounded. It's not balls hanging here on the front, okay? Oh, that sounds terrible. You know what I mean? These are legs. Don't overstuff them, please, okay? Just showed you here a little bit. See, there's still room. Okay, so you do the same thing on the arms. I'm not going to stuff all of them right now. Now let me show you the snout and the body, and then you would sew it together after that. Okay, so there's also a tail, but I'm going to skip the tail because the tail is just a quick little single crochet in rounds. So let's do the body together because that's the most important part. Where's my yarn end? Let's do the body. That's the last thing for today. We can do this. Okay, we're making a pink teddy bear. I'm going to sew it together off camera so you can see how it looks like in the end. But this is how it looks like. You already see it. It's so cute. It's adorable. Okay, so let's do the body together. We're going to start with a magic ring, and we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches into the ring. Remember that chain of 1 does not count as a stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now you're going to pull and close up that ring. As far as I remember, we're actually on the bottom. We're working our way up, I'm pretty sure. All right, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember, but I believe it is how we're doing it. Okay, so now let's go to the next round. The next round is just going to be 2 single crochet stitches per stitch. Now make sure you don't go into chain of 1. So I like to count backwards so I know which one's my first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's my first stitch right here. And I'm going to put 2 single crochet stitches into that and all the way around. So I'm going from 7 to 14 stitches, okay? So literally, if you are increasing in every stitch, you're adding 7 stitches because you have originally 7 stitches. And I'm talking too much, which means I skipped a stitch by accident. Let's go back. So this is the round I always have to count out loud just to make sure that I didn't miss a stitch, because otherwise the rest is going to be messed up. So let me count my stitches for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Woohoo! I have 14. Okay, let's go into the next round. Let me check. The next round is going to be 1 single crochet stitch, and the following is going to be 2 single crochet stitches. Then 1, then 2 single crochet stitches, then 1, and then 2 single crochet stitches. You do this literally all the way around, okay? That means the stitch count goes up by 7, okay? Which means, if you count this right, I'm looking at my stitches right now here. 1, 2, yeah, this will be 2. That means you're going from 14 to, who can do the math? 21. 21 stitches should be at the end of this round right here. Okay, am I shaking? I'm so sorry. This is what happens when your arms are on the table and I'm crocheting a hint faster. Everything moves! Okay, I have an IKEA table. They are not the most heaviest, and therefore everything kind of moves. So sorry, I don't want to make you dizzy. Okay, let me double check that I have 7 increases. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. Whoop, whoop. I have 7 increases, which means I'm at 21 stitches by this round. Okay, let's go to the next round. We're going to continue one more time increases. Okay, so we're going to do 1 single crochet in 2 stitches and then an increase again. And if you look closely, you're actually going to see that there's an increase on top of an increase, making it super duper easy. So again, 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, then an increase. Again, 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, then an increase. Are there any questions so far? Remember, you're here not just to listen to me jabble along, blah, blah, blah. No, seriously. I want you to ask any questions you may have. You're here to ask questions. You're here to be part of the really, really fun community that we're building. And you're a really big, important part of this community. And I would love for you to ask some questions if you have any. Maybe even chat about where everyone lives. So maybe you will find a friend close by. I would love for you to make a friend because most of you guys are probably home alone crocheting, and building a friendship with other crocheters is very important for you. For mentally, it is definitely very important. So let's build our community with really fun friendships. Anyways, by end of this round, you can do the math, right? We are multiplying 4 times 7, so you should have 28 stitches by the end of this round, okay? So now in the next round, we're round 5. We're going to do 1 single crochet per stitch until round 9. So I'm going to do this. That's going to take me a few minutes here. So this will be a great opportunity for you guys to chat with each other and me. So does anyone have any questions about the pattern, about anything else, about crochet? I'm happy to answer other questions too if you have any. I'm here to help you. Let's make your crochet life easier and more fun and entertaining. Shall we do that? All right, so you guys ask anything you might want to ask while I'm crocheting rounds 5 through 9. That takes me a moment because per round is 28 stitches, all single crochet stitches. Hopefully the table doesn't move as much. I'm trying to hold my arms up, but it's a little hard to do that for a very long time. So I'm putting my arms down so I'm not getting too tired. But does anyone have any questions? Okay, you guys will talk about where everyone lives. I like that. Let's see if there's anyone who lives close to each other. I see Michigan, North Carolina. I see Kansas, Utah, Illinois, shortly outside Chicago. We have Virginia, Buffalo, New York, Custonia, Shelby, North Carolina. All right, looks like you guys are all over the map, but that doesn't mean you can't build friendships, right? I mean, my best friend lives in Germany, so don't let that hold you back. You can make friends even if they're a little bit further away. Who knows what kind of friendships you can build here? All right, Patricia says she's from Pittsburgh. Let's see. Nana says, when you do your magic ring, if it calls for 6 or 7, do you not count chain of 1? Correct. I do not count my chain of 1 ever for anything magic ring related. I just don't. It is just there to hold the magic ring in place. I do not count it as a stitch. If you want to count it as a stitch, you would do 1 less single crochet stitch. Otherwise, your stitch count is going to be off. It's up to you. But as I said, for me, it's just holding the magic ring in place. That's all it's doing. It's also making sure that my very first stitch is not extremely tight, because remember, you're closing that magic ring and you're pulling that yarn end, which whatever is the first stitch is going to get crunched up. Okay, that's the other reason I put a chain of 1 there. But again, I don't count it as a stitch. All right, so far I have done 2 rounds, which is 5 and 6. I have 7 now to do, 7, 8, and 9. So this is the 3rd round. So I have 2 more to go after that. Okay. Karen says, I think I'm going to use glue starch my table instead of using plastic canvas. Yes, go for it. Ooh, someone else from Utah. Oh, we have 2 people from Utah. Do you guys live near each other? I see Karen from Tennessee. Let's see. I see also Kelly from Tennessee. Am I right? We have 2 people from Tennessee. Look, you guys live close to each other, right? It's just a state. That means you're neighbors. We're good. We're good. Let's see. I like how you guys figure out how close you guys live to each other. Look at you guys. I love it. Let's connect people with each other. We want to have crochet besties. I want you to have a crochet bestie. I can be one of them. Don't let that hold you back. But I would love for you to create other friendships too. Friendships are important no matter how old you are. Please build some crochet friendships. Very important. This makes this community even better. It makes it really good. Okay, am I in round 8 right now? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I should be in round 8 right now. So then we have round 9 to go right after that. Again, I'm just going to crochet here 1 single crochet per stitch. And as far as I know, I'm working on the body. By the way, don't get scared or anything in terms of my sizing. I believe this teddy is going to be a little bit bigger than my first one. The reason for that is when I crochet on camera, everything I crochet is slightly bigger. My tension is different when I crochet on camera because my arms are laying on a table, which makes the tension different. So this teddy bear is probably going to be a hint bigger than my original one. So I also had potentially a smaller hook size on the first one that I made. I think I used the 3 or 3.5, and here I'm using a 4mm hook. Okay. How many do I do it? This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I did 9! Look at this! I did it! Okay. Did I do it right? Did I count it right? Let me double check. Or is I one missing? Hang on. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, I have one more to go. I didn't count right. Never mind. One more to go. One more to go. All right. I'm going to double check you one more time. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I have to do round 9. Sorry. Miscounted for a second. One more round. One more round. Karen says, you are my besties crochet bestie. Ooh, I like that. I like besties crochet bestie. That's a good one. All right. Stacy says, I would love to have a crochet bestie. Yes. Find each other, even if you are not exactly living close. As I said, my best friend lives in Germany. It's not holding me back. So please, if you want to connect with someone, here's how you can connect with someone even if they live far away. Why don't you guys all talk about a very special thing, a unique thing about yourself, a hobby that might be, so let's say, I'm sure you have more than one hobby, right? Like another hobby of mine is journaling, another hobby of mine is baking, and a little bit of gardening. So if you have another hobby, why don't you guys talk about other hobbies you might have, and then you guys can connect with each other about your hobbies. That's how you find friends, okay? Find each other by finding common ground that you guys can chat about. And then you guys can connect with each other maybe on Facebook, since there's no DMs on YouTube, right? And you can find each other on Facebook, and then you guys can chitty chat with each other. And look, Nana and Karen are talking with each other. Looks like you guys are going to be connecting with each other. I love it. Let's make friends, right? Okay, I did my 9 rounds here. Where am I now? Hold on, gotta look. Round 10, we're doing slightly different, which is some decreases. Okay, round 10 is going to be 1 single crochet and 2 stitches, and then it's going to be a decrease. Okay, so remember the decreases are done the invisible way, especially when you do rounds, you're doing invisible ways. So do you see those 2 front loops? I went through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Okay, now let's repeat this all the way around. 1 single crochet and 2 stitches and the invisible single crochet decrease. So this is round 10 I'm working on. Thank you guys for still chatting with each other. Let's go. And by the way, one of you guys is going to have to make the first step. So if you see someone that has similar things than you, find each other on Facebook and then start chatting, okay? One of you guys has to make the first step. The first step has to be done on one person. So don't feel discouraged if someone doesn't reach out to you. That just means that they're too shy. You take the first step. You reach out and chat with them, okay? So that way you guys can build your friendship together. All right. So once you're done with this round, you're going into the next round. The next round is round 11. It's going to be very similar, just a little less stitches. Okay, so round 11 is going to be 1 single crochet stitch and then 2 single crochets together. So as an invisible single crochet decrease, okay? Let's see. Okay, 1 single crochet stitch, then a invisible single crochet decrease. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's go and go all the way around. Sorry, I'm just checking your comments in between to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Although I love you guys keep talking. I would love it if you guys keep talking. Go for it. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. If there's anyone who has a question about this pattern, you still ask it. I'm still here to answer them, okay? Even if you guys chat with each other. And thank you, by the way, for tagging each other, because if you tag each other, you guys know who's talking about who, okay? Very important. And by the way, if your name is different on Facebook, you might want to tell them that, because I have this feeling some of you guys have different names on Facebook than YouTube. Okay, so now let's go into the next round. So this is round 11 that I just did. And so let me check what it says. Sew on the crocheted nose and so the nose circle, the snout part of it. Ooh, I did not do that yet. So I guess we need to do that. I just realized. So we actually made the head already. So we need to make the muzzle. I forgot to make the muzzle. All right, let's make it together real quick. Okay. Let me make the muzzle. So let's put the head to the side for a second and let's make the muzzle. Am I saying this right? The snout part is the muzzle? I think it is. Okay, so you're going to start the same way as before. You're going to make a magic ring, a chain of 1, and you're going to add 7 single crochet stitches to the ring. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I just want to show you really quick the comparison of when I crochet on camera versus before. Do you see the head size? The head size is completely different. So this teddy is going to be a bit bigger because my tension is looser on camera. Also using a 4mm hook, and I may have used a 3.5 on this guy. All right, so when I'm done with this round right here, I have my 7 stitches. I'm going into the next round, and we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches per stitch. So this is the muzzle part of it here, or the snout, whatever you want to call this. And as I said, we're just going to do 2 single crochet stitches per stitch. So pretty much until you have 14 stitches, and then all you got to do is sew it on. And then you're going to add your eyes and your mouth part of it, which is kind of on top there, right? So we're going to do that part together. And then we're going to cover the rest of the body. And then the sewing part of it and stuff is going to be after, okay? Let's see. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So now I'm just going to do the invisible slip stitch. Pay attention for a second if you've never done this before. Take out your hook from your loop. Go through the next stitch. Pull this through to the back, front to the back. And then make a slip knot, and then you're done with that part, okay? That's your invisible slip stitch. So I cut this right there, see? And it's nice and smooth. You could have done the invisible join too. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to take my tapestry needle right now, and we're going to sew this on. Okay, hang on. I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay, so now you're going to sew on your muzzle, whatever, or snout part of it. So it says you're going to sew it on starting from round 5 down, okay? So if you count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the 5th one. This is exactly where it goes. So you're just going to sew this on, okay? So what I like to do is just go back and forth, or just kind of in and out. So when I say in and out, I'm going this way, just like I showed you earlier, the in and out part of it. So just kind of going from one stitch to the next, and kind of going in and out, okay? Let's see. Nana says, so I think the pink teddy bear body, put a stress ball in it and you have a squishy ball. Yes! That's a good idea. Have we done a bear yet? Have we done a bear yet? Oh my gosh, we have made so many stress balls. My memory is not good right now. I don't think we have made a bear yet. Have we made a bear yet? Where are my TCC members at? You guys tell me, have we made a bear yet? I don't think we have. Maybe I should work on a bear. All right, someone help me out. I don't think we have made a bear yet. I made a piggy. I'm going through it in my head. I have a hard time right now going through it. Because I'm sewing here. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to kind of come out here on the side and grab my last loop here. And then all I have to do is make a little knot, but I want the knot to be behind it. So I'm going behind here and I'm making a knot. If it lets me, yes, right there. Make a little knot just gently like that so nothing comes undone. And then all I have to do is weave that in, but I don't have to weave it all the way in. All I have to do is push it to the inside. The polyfill is kind of holding it in place after. So just push it to the inside. It's going to be part of the polyfill. You don't have to snip it. Okay, you just push it in and the polyfill is going to hold tight on it later. So there we go. It's on the inside. Okay, and I'm going to tuck it in so that way it's not going to bother me or anything. Ta-da! Don't have to do anything else. So now we just have to add our eyes and our mouth part piece. Okay, so I have this set here. I wrote down, as far as I remember, in the sheet which numbers I use. But keep in mind this is bigger, so I have to make an adjustment here on which one I'm using. Okay, so my eyes have to be bigger because this guy's a little bit bigger. So I think this one might be a good one. I'm looking at my other one. So this one was the original one. Is this the same size? I may have to make a bigger one. Let me see. I'm going to maybe use a bigger size. Is this a bigger one? Did I already pick the biggest one? Oh, no, this one is bigger. This one is bigger. Ooh, this might be better here. This is a little bit rough on the outside, though, I just realized. This looks cute. Let's use this one. Remember, my teddy's a little bit bigger, okay? So I have to use a little bit bigger snout part of it. So I'm literally just pushing it through the center part right there. May take a little bit of finagling, okay? Like literally, just push it through. Ta-da! Pushed it through. Okay, now I just have to find the backing for that guy. Hopefully, any of these will work. Hopefully. Okay. Ah! Ta-da! It worked. Found the right one. See, the nose is on. So now I just need to find the eyes that will match it. Look how pretty this is so far. Okay, let's see. Which eyes am I going to use? These might be too small. Maybe these guys will do. I kind of want a little bit bigger eyes on this guy. This is kind of cute. Let me show you how that looks like. Ooh, I kind of like my pink teddy. I think I'm making my pink teddy for someone. Someone's going to appreciate a pink teddy. Look at him! Oh my gosh, isn't he cute? Oh, I like it a lot. Okay, I think these are good eyes. So now, just need to find the right backing for this guy. So I like to flip things around just to put the backing on. And I'm pretty sure this is the same backing as the other one. So, like this. Is that going to go in? No, this one is too tight. Let's see. If it's not the right size, I'm going to pick a different one. Yay, this one fits. All right, let's do the next one. There we go. By the way, if you need it to be tight or anything, all you have to do is put some glue on it and stuff to make sure nothing comes undone. Okay? Are we good? Look at this cutie pie. I kind of like the big eyes. He's so cute. I like him a lot. Okay, so now we're going into the next round. Are we good? Everything's good so far? I like how you guys connect with each other. Good job, everyone. Will you guys reach out to me and let me know if you guys build some friendships? I would love to know. Please, please. I am so curious about this. Don't have to give me any insights. Your friendship is kept private, but I would love to know if anyone is connecting with each other. Remember, I have 2 Facebook groups you can find besties in. The Crochet Club, that's a tight-knit group. You're definitely going to find a friendship there. For sure, maybe even multiple. The Crochet Club is a good one to start out with. If you're already in it, go find your bestie in there. You can even put a post in there and say, hey, we're left to find a bestie to crochet with in the Crochet Club. Put a post in the group and find someone, okay? Or in my big group. But remember, that one is a big group. Finding a bestie there might be a little harder, but you can find a lot of people there too. Crocheting with Nikki's my other Facebook group. Either way, okay? So let me go to the next round. A few more rounds to go right here. We're doing now the body. So we have the head done. Let's do the body, okay? So we're doing decreases all the way around now. Are we good on the teddy? I kind of want to finish it to make sure you guys can see at least how the body looks like. But if you find it too boring at this point, you guys let me know. I mean, it's literally just increases or decreases or single crochet stitches. So here I'm just going to do decreases all the way around. And once I kind of get a little bit closer to finishing, I can start stuffing. But I'm debating if I should just stuff later. It's easier to hold. But so I haven't decided yet. Hang on. Got to make sure these are decreases. Decreases all the way around. I think I have enough room to add stuffing later. Let me check. If my finger fits in it, I can stuff it later. Let me see. Yes, I can stuff it later. I'm going to stuff it right before I finish the body. That's when I'm going to stuff it. Ta-da! I know. Karen says the pink teddy's cute. I know. I kind of like it. I want a pink teddy. I kind of want it for myself now, but it's so cute. I have a few people who might appreciate a pink teddy. All right, so let's go to the next round. It does say add polyfill this stage, but I'm going to do it later. So we're going to now do 2 single crochet stitches per stitch. So the opposite of the increases, okay? Because we needed a neck part. He needs a neck. So we had to do decreases first. Now we're going to do increases. So you're going to go all the way around it, doing 2 single crochet stitches per stitch. Okay, I'm going to go just a little bit further with y'all because the last part of it is exactly the same thing as we just did. And I only want to show you the parts that are most important. I'm still going to finish my teddy off camera. I want him to be finished, even if I don't finish on camera. All right, we're going to do a few more rounds together here because I just want to make sure that you guys all get it, okay? So this round that we're working on now is round 14. We're going to do again 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochet stitches. So you should have 14 in the previous round. So this round will be now 21 stitches, okay? So 1 single, then 2 singles. 1, then 2, all the way around, okay? Let's see. We need a pink monkey. Ooh, I did not make a monkey yet for the stress balls either. I think I need my hubby to make a list. Do you guys want a teddy? I think, did anyone say they wanted a teddy for the stress balls? If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, we're making stress balls in TCC. All right. So anyways, so once you're done with this round, you go on one more round, I believe. Am I right? Let me double check. Oh, in the next round, we're doing 1 single crochet per stitch. So this is now round 15. So we're sticking with the 21 for now, 21 stitches. So 1 single crochet per stitch all the way around. And then we do, I believe, 1 more round of increases. Am I right? Yes. We're going to do 1 more round together after this. And the rest of it is the same as we just finished over here, okay? So there's going to be a bunch of rounds in just single crochet stitches. And then we're going to do, then it's pretty much decreases like we did before. Same decreasing style, okay? And just closing the hole in the end. Okay. Oh my God, he's so cute. Okay, so let's see. Maxine says, I just finished the last house wall. Woohoo, Maxine, you did it. I am so proud of you. Oh my gosh, that's a big accomplishment. Does that feel great? Oh, I remember when I finished the last wall last week. No, not last week, a few weeks ago. Oh, I remember that. That was so good. Oh, that was a good feeling. Okay, so in the next round, let me see. This is round 16. Let's do round 16 as the last round for today. So 1 single crochet stitch, then 2, am I doing 1 single? No, it's 1 single crochet and 2 stitches, and then it's 2 single crochet stitches. Then again, 1 single crochet and 2 stitches, and then it's 2 single crochet stitches. All right, you're doing this all the way around. So 1 and then 2, okay? 1 and 1. Did I say this right? Yes, 1, 1, and then 2. 1, 1, and then 2. So I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. I gotta say it out loud. 1, 1, and 2. 1, 1, and 2. Let's see. 1. I feel like I missed one here. Somewhere. Where did I miss one? 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. I think I missed here 1 more stitch somewhere because I have here an extra stitch somewhere. Anyway, so there we go. So that's how it looks like. So now in the next round, so by the way, if I would stuff it right now, it would look like this. How cute. Okay, so you're now going to do rounds 17 through 19. It's just 1 single crochet per stitch. Then in round 20, you're going to do decreases again. 2 single crochet stitches, so 1 per stitch, then a decrease. Do this all the way around. Round 21 is 1 single crochet, then a decrease, the invisible decrease, right? Then add the polyfill, and then round 22 is decreases all the way around, close the hole, and then you're just sewing on all your pieces, your ears, your arms, your legs, your tail, and your little bow, and you're done. Okay, I'm gonna finish my teddy off camera, and I'm gonna show it to you guys tomorrow. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna check my comment section here for a second. Kelly says, add monkey teddy stress balls. Yay! Okay, everyone wants those. Good, good, good. All right, is there any questions I may have missed? Stacy says, Nancy with my sister, I loved pink monkeys. Aw, I'm so glad you like those. That's a good memory for you. Let's see. Is there another question? I just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. I'm just scrolling for a second. I think we're good. I think there's no more questions that I missed. A dragon stress ball would be fun too, Lori. I totally agree. Okay, I want to answer that one question. Who was it? Stacy? Was it Stacy? I don't remember. But someone was asking me for the link for the wood sheets. It's that one right there. Let me see if I can grab it. That way you don't have to type it up. And you can just click on it. Let me see if I can grab it here for a second. This is an affiliate link from Amazon. Okay, I just put it into the comments. Listen, an Amazon affiliate link. If you tap on it and you make a purchase within 24 hours, I get a small commission for it at no extra charge to you. That's how all affiliate links work. So if you want to help your favorite creators, you use their affiliate links. It doesn't cost you a dime extra and not even a penny extra. Okay, it's literally coming out of the company's money and they're paying us. Okay, so just use our links, any designer links, and that way we get a small commission at no extra charge to you. But for Amazon, you have to make a purchase within 24 hours. It's weird, I know. So if you're not sure yet if you want to make a purchase, then just click on it right before you make a purchase for any designer you're using it for. Okay, are there any more questions from y'all? I like you guys' list. Okay, if there's, that was Sherry. Sherry was asking that question. Thank you for reminding me. I wasn't sure who it was. I knew it was with an S. Okay, well, I was close. It was Sherry. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, so we just finished those 4. I am so proud of you guys. You just made some friends together. I'm so proud of you. You were here until the end. I know it went a little bit longer. It's totally fine. You can rewatch it at any time. I was trying to make sure I covered all the parts that are important for all those 4 pieces, okay? So let me remind you. Actually, I don't have to remind you. Whatever's left over, we're going to talk about in part 3. Whatever's left over, we're talking about in part 3. Now, there are a few things, as I said, I'm not going to cover in the live tutorial section of it. One of it is the Santa sack. You already get a video tutorial for that, so that's going to be separate. It's already done. The same is true for the gingerbread people. The gingerbread woman's slightly different. There's just one round different. One round out of it. Everything else is the same. So that's just going to be in the written pattern. But there is a video tutorial for the gingerbread man. So you do not need an additional video tutorial for that. And then we are going to cover the wreath. We're going to cover, I believe, I'm trying to remember everything. The picture frame and the chair. I believe that's the last crochet parts of it. And then we'll talk about the decorations. Okay. And that will be for part 3 in 2 days. So let me remind you about something very important again. Very important. I need you to finish it however you like to finish it. That's the part for the giveaway part, okay? Very important. So let me show you this real quick before I show you the last question you need to answer, okay? So you have these parts in order to be part of the giveaway. Number 1, there's 3 winners, doesn't require any crochet. This part doesn't require any crochet. You just hear, listening, and answer the question at the very end. All 3 videos, okay? The live video tutorial parts of it. This one requires crocheting. However, if you want your gingerbread house to have doll furniture inside without crocheting it, then go for it. You decorate your gingerbread doll house however you like. Just show us a finished piece. A finished piece. If your gingerbread house has no decorations and you consider that finished, then that's what it is. It should look like a house though. Please, at least make it look like a house. Okay? So you finish it however you like by the deadline, October 6th, 2025, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Okay? And then you want to join us at the party so you know whether you win. You have to watch the party if you want to know if you won. I don't put it anywhere else besides the party. You have to come to that. Okay? Whether you watch it as a replay or not. But if you join us live, you have a chance to win prizes there too. Sounds good? All right. I'm going to check the comments in a second. Okay, there's a question, I believe, so I'm going to answer that in a second, but I want to pop up the question real quick that you need to answer. Here's your question for today, for part 2. Name your favorite of the 15 patterns. There's 15 in here. Name your favorite and tell us how far you are currently at this point in the crochet along. How far are you? So it's kind of a 2-in-1 question. So name both things, okay? So name your favorite of the 15. It can be the house, the gingerbread man, the teddy bear. I don't care. Name one of the 15 and tell us how far you are in the crochet along, okay? Let's see. Lizzie says, when you are live in TCC on Thursday, next Thursday we have a Zoom chat. Lizzie, you can always email me. The link is in the TCC vault on the front page, and it is next Thursday. And there's also an event link where you can see when it is every single time and all the times. Okay, there's an event link there too, so you can click on that and you can get reminders from Facebook with that as well. So let's see. There are some questions. Karen says those pieces are 12 times 12, but the roof is 13.5 or something. I mentioned the measurements in part 1. Go back to the measurements in part 1. It's in the written pattern and in the video. I don't remember all my measurements. I don't think I had a 12 times 12. Let's see. I think mine was a hint smaller. But if yours is like that. Oh, wait, are you talking about the wood sheets? I'm so sorry. I just realized that you were talking about the wood sheets. Oh, my brain. Yes, you're talking about the wood sheets, right? Yes, you can cut them. So these are craft wood sheets. So you're either going to use craft scissors that are strong enough to cut wood. There are some out there. As I said, I have a pair of scissors in the kitchen that cuts bones. So those types of scissors would work. There is wood cutting scissors. There are all kinds of tools you can use to cut wood. So yes, those wood sheets are not directly the dimensions that I used. Obviously, as you can see, I actually didn't use wood. I would use wood if I would make this again. I would use wood. But you can cut it. There are many different ways. How to make it work? Yes, you're just going to cut it, Karen, with some kind of tool. There's a wood cutting tool. There's a saw. I don't think saw is needed for this. Personally, I think scissors will do fine. You just need a really strong scissors for that. Okay, so let's see. Everyone else is just answering the questions, right? I think so. I think we're good. Okay, I'm just checking real quick if there's another question that I'm missing. I think we're good at this point. Okay, you guys did amazing. You guys are so good. I'm so proud of you. You stayed until the end, almost 2 hours long. You're amazing. I'm proud of you. Thank you guys for being here. Remember to keep building your friendships. That's important in crochet. And I am so glad you guys are here. I hope that other designers encourage friendships too. I'm trying to really push it out there. I want you guys to be friends with each other. And I will see you guys back here in part 3. Am I right? You can watch the replay as many times as you need. I hope you have a beautiful day. Also, one more time, quick reminder, there is a sale going on. Just a small little reminder, sale, 37 off for any of my 35 ebooks, but only until tonight. So take advantage if you like, but you can always watch the replay if you need that code again. So I'll see you guys the next time. Until part 3. Until then, bye-bye. Happy hooking.